Hello and welcome to the Talkin Bits podcast. I am your only host in the building today, the OG here. Michael is on vacation, or at least that's what we're telling his daughter. I do want to wish him well, though. We hope that gambling recovery is going really good for him. Hopefully,
gambling recovery.
Yes, hopefully when he comes back, he's kicked the habit. Because to be honest with you, it's really hurting his family as well as this podcast.
You just got to roll the dice,
right? Well. That's the problem, I think, is more the frequency of dice rolling.
He's doing a lot of dice. Yeah, there's a lot. On the way up here, I noticed all of the places to gamble.
Right. Yeah. And there's actually a picture of him at most of those places. We've covered him. His daughter said, "Please don't let my daddy give our money away anymore." Is what she said.
Oh, it's coming up on Christmas time. She's wanting to.
Right.
She's probably wanting child's toys.
Yeah. Well, the extra sad part is she can't even talk yet, but she knows that sentence. You know,
Daddy, quit gambling our money away.
that actually, she didn't have. Most babies have a first word. You know, she had a first sentence,
first full sentence,
right? A first plead is what she had, right? And we do want to wish him what he's gonna hate this.
Yeah, so we just collectively as a group want to say, Michael, we're rooting for you.
We really
please
are.
come home.
Truly, and I know a lot of people are going to hear this and they're going to think that we're joking or we're trying to be fun, but no, from a deep place.
Yeah,
we hope he's
from
better.
Both of us with absent fathers,
right?
At least my dad wasn't home spending all of our freaking money.
That's true.
So
that's
kind of sick and twisted. It's really sick. What
he's a horrible human being, but we do want to wish him well. We hope that all is going well, and so for this episode and for a couple episodes while he's gone, I have a guest host in the building today, Casey Shearer.
It's Casey Shearer, everybody.
It's Casey Shearer, everybody.
You
guys can't hear it, but there's actually a studio audience with us,
and they're all snapping.
Right,
they're all snapping right now.
They are. They're just off mic. We invite them to Michael's basement every time he's out of town.
I like to imagine when I'm out of town, a couple of my buddies get together and just talk mad shit about me in my own house.
Right.
On my own equipment.
That's a good point. And I do want to say thank you, Michael, for allowing us to use the space.
Yeah, you have a lovely basement.
It's lovely. There's a fake tree in the corner. We've really done a lot with the space. Yeah.
Down here.
Okay. Yeah, that's where we're at.
Let's dox him. Let's dox Mike.
It'll be bleeped. It'll be bleeped because he's gotten on to me about that before. But
yeah, people are really having it out for Michael Rose, the real estate agent. He's got all kinds of enemies and opposition. Yeah. Who's looking for him? A brush company?
Exactly. Yes. Yeah, right. He's out there. Anyways, he's alive.
I've met Michael a handful of times, and I'm talking a lot of smack about him in his own house.
He's gonna love that.
He's a lovely guy. Mm-hmm. You should believe that.
He is. No, he is a lovely human being. He he just has a problem, and some people have them.
It's gambling.
Right.
Yeah.
That is the one. But, we wish him well. We wish he was here, but he's not. So we'll, I guess, just have a great episode anyways, is what we're going to have to do. On the episode today is a returning guest. Probably, at one time, he was the most viewed guest on the show with, I think, 7 views. And
that's,
maybe 8. We get those numbers up, ladies and gentlemen.
Pump these numbers up.
Pump these numbers. No, for real, he has an episode that did very well with us and some clips as well. So he's easily probably my closest friend in comedy. One of the best dudes around. With us today is Travis Stevenson. Yeah, he's what a sweetheart.
An undeniable icon.
Is that it? That's what. So if asked, because typically Travis, I'll say when he enters a room, the first thing he asks is, "What do you think of me?" Mm-hmm. He really that's what he wants to start off with is your impression, and so what you would say to that is an icon.
When I look at Travis Stevenson, and then I look away, there's still an image of Travis Stevenson burned into my retinas.
He's like one of those things that kind of looks like Jesus.
Looking into a beam of light. He's
right.
He's phenomenal.
Yes, I have. Sometimes I'll catch myself. I have floaters. You know what floaters are?
Yeah,
where you'll see little traces.
They arrange.
I have floaters, and then if I really kind of squint, it's Travis's face.
Yeah,
within my field of view.
All the little folders are little Travis's.
Right.
Floaters.
Right. And we're happy to have him. We're very thrilled to have him.
This is intense.
Anyways, this is an episode with Travis Stevenson and his lovely wife, Kayla. We love when they come on. So enjoy.
All right.
Welcome back to the Talkin Bits podcast. This is episode 66 for us.
Right on.
Most people said we never make it past one, and
I never listened to the first one.
Well, so technically, in Casey's world, we didn't. We've never made it.
I started in the middle.
Right. Yeah. That's a good place. We started
I never
video.
go back. I never go and listen to the first episode of any podcast. So
I know that about you. I know that about you. Don't you watch it in reverse order? Actually, don't you?
Kinda. Yeah, I like to watch the new stuff first. I like. Where are we at?
You like to watch Rogan de-age. You like to go backwards.
Yeah, I'm like, this guy's getting.
Like, he has hair.
AG1's working.
Right.
So.
Oh, it works great. Anyways, we're back with Casey, obviously the guest host who's here on a one-day contract. We're gonna see how it works. Michael's in rehab. And Travis is back. Welcome back, Travis.
How's it going, fellas?
And with him is his amazing wife, who we love, Kayla.
Yellow.
You've been okay. So the last time you guys were on, were you on mic or were you just in the room?
I think I was barely on mic.
Barely
you guys mic'd me up, but I didn't really say a whole lot.
And I wonder if that's on mic, and there's also a gentleman named Mike that was in the room.
Yes. Yeah. She was over there with Mike. And we were all here. Right. Mike's here today, too. No, we're back. We're excited to have you back. Travis, I'm trying to remember how long it's been since you've been on. Maybe like 10 or 15 episodes or something-ish.
If I was
at least, because I haven't listened to that one either.
That was actually a test to see how much we mean to you.
Yeah. Oh, as soon as I found out Spotify, good Lord, I just stroked out. Oh wow, this Waggles coffee is not kicking in yet. Spot a high five. As soon as I found out Spotify,
let's try it again.
Take two.
And action.
As soon as I found out Spotify had the feature where you could just search for words, and I would just type in my name, like, oh, they didn't talk about me this episode.
What an asshole.
Oh, God, no. What if I was actually that vain? That would be crazy,
That's the most egotistical shit I've ever heard. That's like some Michael Rose level shit.
It's actually very efficient, dude. You can just skip through so much bullshit.
Where's the important stuff at?
We did say in the intro that because Michael's not here, we want to very, very, very blatantly just be rude to him. Like, we just want to be incredibly rude.
Just talk shit about him in his own house. Right. I've met him 2 times.
Right. Because he is obviously letting us use the space today and all the equipment and stuff. Lovely. So we'd like to reward that with being completely disrespectful throughout.
Just disrespecting
right.
him. Yeah.
So if you could go out of your way to not say anything positive about him, that's kind of the point.
Follow
of the
me
episode.
on social media and I'll give you his full address.
Casey already name dropped the address in the intro.
In the intro. Yeah, because it's funny. It's not
whenever you turn on Road.
Yeah, it's not like...
You go off of Michael to get on.
Right.
Hello.
Right. Yeah. She's back on mic again.
Back on Michael, dude.
Yeah,
I don't know what it is.
It's not like anybody's listening to this. I'll give you my
full
address.
Is that what you meant when you said you wanted someone to give you roses the other day? Right. Michael roses.
Whoa!
Here's the interesting thing about the show is my parents have recently taken a liking to listening to it. And by parents, I mean mother and ex-stepdad, who's now current stepdad, because they love when I say that. Anyways, we're a fucked up family dynamic. And so they listen, and the one thing my mom said was, you're awfully mean to Mike. She was like, you shouldn't be so mean to him. So I've just been a real grade A asshole since she said I do it now just so that people listening think I don't like him. Yeah. That's the goal.
Yeah.
I mean, he's honestly a super nice guy. I like him a lot.
He's a great realtor.
He's been lovely.
Great realtor.
He's just a solid dude. Actually, you probably should be nicer to him, dude.
No.
He's your co-host.
No, I shouldn't.
What
you
makes
guys are
a
using
good
his
realtor?
space. Wow.
Well, selling us one, I guess.
That's true. Selling.
Because I know he said it on the podcast. The only reason to use any realtor is that you like them.
Right.
Because the job's not that. It sucks, but it's not
well, you know how they have like the ABC, like always be closing? Michael, he used to say that. He used to always tell me he spends a lot of time at the ABC. Then he's talking about the liquor store is where he hangs out. And I don't know why he was saying
the
that.
liquor store. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Anyways, we hope he's doing better. So Casey, you've never been on the show.
Never been on here. I just showed up and started talking shit.
Right. Don't you? I think actually we were cleaning the gutters earlier, and Casey was in there. And
I was in the gutter. Yeah. I was
right.
Crawling out of a culvert.
Yes, there was just a pile of leaves, and I saw it move, and I was like, "Would you like to co-host this show with me?"
It was hard eating all those leaves, but I'm just decomposing out there.
Somebody has to do it.
I'm a little worm.
That's okay. They can't all land. You know, you're swinging.
Hey man,
sometimes you're swinging.
I'm gonna be swinging for 3 straight hours.
Wait, was it the story I heard about you? Like you were hosting.
Oh, I bombed.
You said,
I bombed so bad.
Keith crushes everywhere. He crushes
at the dentist office, dude. And I said, because in my head I was like, I know that's not that funny, but I'm hoping that they'll meet me in the middle and be like, okay. It's funny that you said it. but the crowd was not on my side.
So hold on. So for the listener, I want to explain this because I wasn't aware this was going to come up, and now that it has,
well, now it's here.
I want to tell my perspective.
Yeah, I don't know what happened. So.
Okay.
Well,
so this was
at is what happened.
This is at my last Don't Tell comedy show in Johnson City, and Corbin LeMaster headlined. It was great. Everybody had a good time.
By the way, I reached out to Nathaniel to get booked on. It's not like he asked me. I was like, please, I have enough faith in myself. Here are my off days. Here are the days that I'm available to do you a service.
Yes.
And then he was like, man, absolutely. You'll do good on this show.
Yeah. He hit me with his avails, which is a pro move. He's a real professional.
And it's coming. I'm going to keep doing it.
And so, so what I said was, sure, this is such a professional approach. I would love to give you the opportunity to come up and show me what you're capable of. And so what he did is he came up and he showed me what he was capable of. And so
I like how you say it like you had to go through an audition. I just imagine Nathaniel's sitting in one chair.
Yeah.
Just the one chair, and he's waiting for you to tell a joke so he can turn around and hit the button like it's on The Voice.
It's actually this basement. They come in that door.
Yeah.
And I sit in this very low couch with blankets and pillows stacked on it like a toddler. And then I just judge him. Anyway, so here's the thing. I was outside during most of the set, during the whole show. And there was a door that leads immediately in at the Generalist. You've been there. So I could only gauge how well it was going based off the amount this door was rattling. And I'll say when Keith was on, that door was rattling. Keith Marcel was getting that door jumping.
The door was moving.
When Casey was on, I didn't see as much rattling, is what I'll say. I don't know how bad it was, but he seems to think it was bad. He seems to think that it was bad, which I don't know if it's true. All I know is by the end of the show,
I trust your judgment, dude. If you say it was bad,
it's not like there were blank stares. Like I had a couple people going, but they were not.
If Justin Mays says he does bad, I'd just be like, well, who the hell knows? He might have done great, or he might have done bad. If Casey says he does bad,
it wasn't the worst thing that ever happened.
I believe you. Well, you wouldn't lie with that type of mustache, dude.
Here's the interesting thing about the show is that he was hosting. So immediately within the first 5 minutes, he comes out and he's like, they do not like me. They don't want to see me go back up there.
Which is great because you have 5 more chances to piss these people.
I gotta keep going.
By the end, though, he figured that out. So he's literally going up there going, yes, it's fucking me again. I'm sorry. To which they were kind of liking
a little bit.
They kind of liked hating your guts a little bit.
So I was doing intros for people, and Nathaniel was like, hey, man, just give me a normal intro. Like, don't do anything over the top. And so I was like, this guy is a cosmic force of nature, and like all this just big stuff. Yeah. And it went good. He had a good set. And then I brought Justin up, and I was like, Justin carried my family out of a burning house all at once on his back. And Justin's in the back of the room, and he's riffing with the audience. He's like, I don't know what this guy's talking about. Everybody's having a good time. And then I'd say that Keith does well in the dentist office. And
okay. All right. Let's pause there for a second because in the moment I've now entered the room. At this point, Keith's about to go on. I'm standing
Nathaniel's
in the back.
like, why are these people not having a good time?
I just hear Casey say, this next guy crushes everywhere. He even crushes
at
the dentist office. To which my brain immediately must go, well, I guess Casey and Keith have some inside joke about the time Keith was at the dentist office.
Think about
after the show, we go, what was that? And Casey goes, I don't know.
You know what's great is he's like, I'm finally getting some laughs out of this audience. I'm figuring them out. Here we go.
They're gonna love this.
Oh man, there's nothing worse than just taking a shot with a riff and then it goes flat.
The thing about Johnson City is that they just they've never seen a dentist office. So
we just
all right, Teleco play. Nobody even knows where the fuck you're from, dude.
It's pretty cool that you admitted to crawling out of the gutters at a home in Johnson City. And then you're
like, but at least we have dental, motherfucker.
Hey,
I get 2 cleanings a year. Thank you very much.
Well, it's like it's a vet, but he'll check you out.
Right.
He can tell how old you are by looking at your teeth.
A lot of the same machinery, I've heard.
Same stuff.
Right.
Scraping them out.
No, so Casey, I don't even know how we wound up talking about the dentist office, but I know that it was a good time. That was a good time for me. Well, I enjoyed it.
Yeah. So I said that, bombed my ass off, and then Keith's coming off stage. Yeah. Everybody is laughing. They're clapping. They're like, "Yeah, that was a good set."
It was good.
And I said, "All right, guys, you ready for your headliner?" It goes dead fucking quiet. I'm like, you guys ready? It's like, yeah, you guys ready for your headliner?
Nothing. I think somebody actually apologized for coughing. I think in the front row, he coughed and said, I'm sorry.
And you can hear it? Oh, that's great.
I was like, well, I hope so, because you paid to be here, and they kind of laughed at that, and I was like, it's Corbin Lemaster. You know,
Lee Master. I'm gonna die on this hill, dude.
Either way,
as soon as he listens, he's gonna be like, they don't even know who the fuck I am.
I keep hearing both ways, but I think the interesting part is Corbin goes up and again comes out, and I said, "Hey, good set," because I didn't really see it, and he goes, "No, you don't have to lie. It was bad." I don't feel like that's true. I feel like that crowd all had a good time. Many people leaving stopped and talked to him.
Yeah.
Now maybe they were saying, "Don't kill yourself." I don't really know what they were saying, but they did stop and talk to him, and so I missed it. But the dentist office riff was.
Hey,
that was a wild one.
Think about all the laughter that has came out of it. This is more like meta. I'm doing comedy on planes that you can't even comprehend.
Don't you love when somebody does something that sucks? They're just like, no, you don't understand. It's actually great.
Right.
Yeah, well, like it wasn't great in the moment, but
you're saying. So let me get this straight. You're saying you were actually bombing ironically.
I'm doing comedy in reverse.
I'm making a statement, okay?
Yeah, in the moment, everybody's like, "What the hell is this guy talking about?" And then
that was far more than a riff. That was
Keith hasn't looked me in the eyes since. Keith, all right, for the record, Keith just now quit calling me Madison. I mean, like within the past 3 weeks, probably.
Keith still doesn't know my fucking name.
I know. There's been several times.
He knows my wife's name. He's like, "Hey, Miss Kayla," and then he sees me, he's like, yeah. What's going on, dude?
You brought him, huh? Yeah.
Brandy's told Keith my name several times, so...
Keith only knows my name, I think, because sometimes he gets paid by me. I've paid him a couple times, and he sees the Venmo. That's how he knows.
Like, oh, that's who that is.
Keith was just in here, actually. We had an amazing time with him. He's been trying to get on forever. But, Casey, since this is your first time, please tell us, how long have you been doing stand-up comedy?
About a year and a half. Okay. Give or take about a year and a half, I'd say.
Give or take about a year and a half. Now, when you say give or take, does that mean 11 months, actually?
Give it or take it.
It's actually 6 years in.
Keith told us he was between 8 and 30 years in, and we had to just guess for ourselves. He doesn't want to admit the true length of time he's been doing it. I think was the sitch there, but he wasn't having it. I think he's one of the funniest dudes on planet Earth.
Awesome.
You should see him at the dentist's office, dude. He fucking goes hard. Man.
Well, it's like this guy.
I've actually heard that. I've heard that about him.
You should see him at the dentist office. Right. It's phenomenal.
Yeah.
They can't even get any work done.
Are there shows at a dentist office? Has that happened? I'm sure.
Let's do a don't tell. And
there's a don't tell.
You need to reach out.
Yeah. Should do it.
We could be the first. I thought the cave was a cool milestone. Imagine.
These are like a bunch of like tiny caves if you look at somebody's mouth, you know?
That's true.
God,
I don't think I like that.
I need to go home. Dude.
I think that's disgusting, actually.
I'm having a rough day. It's been a long year, guys.
It's been a long year. I agree. Yeah. Casey, so year and a half, it's been a long year and a half. And we're kind of doing a speed version of these questions, but every time we have a first person on the show, I want to ask you, what were the reasons you did comedy? What were some of your influences way before you ever actually started doing comedy? Like maybe as a kid?
Yeah. Actually, and I thought about some of those answers.
Oh, wow. Somebody's listened to Spotify.
I listened to a couple of those. You have 3 or 4 views from me, all localized.
I was wondering where those came from.
Yeah. He was like, why is this happening?
Yeah.
Say SpongeBob is a good one.
Sure.
Yeah, it's a good.
That's a first.
I started watching SpongeBob again chronologically last night. Nothing but heaters.
Oh, just the first 4 seasons are unmatched. You guys are a little bit older. You might no SpongeBob.
How old are you?
SpongeBob.
24.
Okay. Right.
I watched it premiere. You fuck faces.
I'm just saying. I didn't know if you're too cool, if you're too mature for.
No, I think like if you're into comedy, I think you should go and actually watch and like count how many swings they take, like in an amount of time. It's a lot, and they're good.
Undeniably, the first guest on this show.
Yeah.
To ever say
SpongeBob, and I respect you for it. I
think that you should take notes on it.
I
think that a lot of comedians could maybe get better. So
wow,
if they watch SpongeBob,
no, just in general, I think that they should just really take.
No, I'm just saying a lot of people are very bad at comedy.
I think that some people should.
Casey, now that you mention it, I've been to a couple open mics, and I think you're onto something.
Just across the board.
Listen, I've heard not a lot of people. I've heard some people say that they have imposter syndrome, and I'm like, no, that is you understanding of what's actually going on.
Right.
Yeah.
It's more of a comfortable awareness of the world around.
Yeah, and then you're shoving that
and now
back down against all odds, and you're just still doing these mics.
Right. And if you could just explain to me how the fuck we got there from SpongeBob.
It's because I was on a rant.
I don't know if I tuned out for half a
no,
millisecond.
man, I just went there. I'm driving this boat.
With Michael gone, Casey at the helm, I'm scared for my
I've been
life.
wanting this kind of power for ages.
That mustache has done things to you, dude. We need to grow back to
That's
wrestling.
true. You've
balance you
changed.
out.
I'm evil now.
You have changed.
Bad.
Yeah. Okay. So
hold on.
SpongeBob.
Yeah, influences of like things
Of
that,
stand-up
of
comedy. Right.
Well, like I don't have a ton of stand-ups that
Do you remember
watched a
the
lot.
age when you you first got exposed to stand-up?
It was I was probably like 5 or 6, and it was Blue Collar Comedy
yeah.
Tour
Sure.
was my 1st.
Mm-hmm.
So like Ron White for
Yeah.
sure was one of my favorites because I knew that he was like the taboo guy on Blue
Right.
Collar.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, I can tell that my parents don't really want me watching this guy because
Yeah.
he's talking about like drinking and partying and all this stuff.
Right.
And everybody else has pretty tame jokes for the most part.
Yeah.
So-
well, I've said almost that exact thing on this show a
Yeah.
bunch that my parents would turn it off when Ron White came
Yeah,
out.
but
And
I
I was
love-
always like, what's he saying?
I'm like, I gotta see what he's.
Yeah.
But his timing is so good.
Oh, he's
And
still one of the
got, like,
greatest.
I was watching Ron White clips last night. Man, he's good.
He may be one of the few comics, too, that I almost think is better now than in his
Oh,
quote
yeah.
unquote prime as far as like his stardom.
Before he
you know?
popped, he was like speed racing through
Yeah.
stuff. He was just like
Yeah.
chopping jokes real quick, getting to
Mm-hmm.
a story real fast, and now he's just like he sits
So
in
slow.
everything.
Yeah.
And it makes it so much better. Like,
So
like
much
I think he might have the best timing.
The
think so.
confidence is crazy. It really is.
I think he does a thing with like gay jokes where you think he's about to take it to like a homophobic place, and then
Mm-hmm.
he doesn't. And he's done it several times. I can't think of it off the top of my head.
Mm. I know he
but,
has one about getting blown by a gay dude in a gas station. And
yes,
he's like,
that was on. I think
you
it was
might
a Kill
if-
Tony.
Yeah,
thing.
he's like, if you walk in that moment, you may think that I and he were both gay guys,
Yeah.
but it was just him.
it was just him.
He's got a whole that's
that
a cool.
That
way.
was a good bit too.
He's so funny. So SpongeBob and Ron White, boy, are we on different
Oh, it keeps
poles
going.
there?
Keeps going.
Keeps going.
2
What?
Chainz.
What is?
2
Two
Chainz
Chainz.
is funny as hell, and I'm gonna die on that hill.
I'm kind of gonna back him up, but Trav openly despises rap music and all things.
New rap,
so
yeah, I
he
don't like
doesn't-
it. It's to me, it's
yeah.
like pop country, but I get it from like a comedy.
I'm not gonna say
perspective.
it's esoteric, but it's funny.
Well, if I knew what
might be
that word
esoteric.
meant, I probably would say it was esoteric, but I don't know.
super
what it
niche.
means.
Yeah.
But like
And-
the thing about rap, like if you're in it for comedy, I'm like, yeah, that's all they're doing is dropping bars, and it's just
Right.
similes. It's like, like I do something like this. But it's to me the reason I don't like rap, just to defend myself a little bit, is just because number one, everybody's talking about how much money they have, how much bitches they get, how cool their cars are, and how if you disrespect me, I'm going to shoot you. And I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm not cool enough to do any of that shit, so I just don't relate to
You
it
can't
at all.
relate. Yeah,
Like I said, I like bluegrass.
yeah. It
I
would be
get
pretty
it that
weird.
I'm not
Bluegrass
in
is
the
good,
popular
too.
camp on what's good music and what's
Somehow I'm enough all over the map where I can't. I enjoy both very,
I wouldn't
very
say
strongly.
that what I listen to is good music, but it's what I like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Casey, have a very honestly, the three of us have I would say a diverse taste in music and probably stand up too. That a lot of people don't. Mine, I know, is because I had very distinct, different influences, especially with music. Like my dad was '90s rap music, my mom was different stuff, and then my grandpa, obviously, older music. So I think that, don't you think it kind of makes you an interesting person, like a more well-rounded
I'd say
person?
so. Yeah.
Definitely, I felt like
If we're
in my
using
life.
interesting as a synonym for weird.
Well, I
And
feel like
unfuckable. then
social
yeah, dude,
outcast.
we're so interesting. I was so interesting in high school
Man,
listening to
nobody
bluegrass.
had sex with me. They couldn't figure it
Everybody
out.
was so interested.
I'm not saying- interesting in that we have a much easier time, I think, relating to a random person because
Yeah.
more than likely we share something in as far as
I'd
interest
say
goes.
so. Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
Like I'm always very annoying that I can attach to like a waiter or a waitress. Like I can be friends
Oh,
with.
well,
them
I
by
mean,
the
I
end
can
of the meal.
attach to a waitress. I'll be completely in love with that woman in 30 seconds. Like, it takes no time.
Not exactly what I meant, but I've seen that in action with you, and I can confirm it's true.
No, I mean, it's all the time.
It's pretty remarkable. I don't know if you guys have ever had the pleasure of being around an attractive waitress when Casey's in the room. It's pretty remarkable.
Instant love.
It's pretty exciting.
I got a big heart.
It's he does have a massive heart.
Massive
He's,
heart.
He's got a massive heart. It's true. The ladies love it.
I just feel like if Casey does get a waitress, then he'll probably quit comedy and just do whatever she wants. You guys will have a family.
I can't. I was not that I'm running into many women, fighting to move into the barn that I live in.
That is holding you back.
I gotta stand on comedy. I gotta be like, hey, I've been doing this a year and a half.
Right.
Like, you're just gonna come in,
Yeah.
cook a couple meals, throw all that down the drain. Huh? You gonna move into this barn? You gonna offset my plans?
Yeah.
Fast forward now, you're dating a schizophrenic waitress, and it's just full on Ruby
Oh my
Ridge
God,
situation
dude.
in your barn, dude.
He's like 650 days I've been putting in work at this comedy thing.
You would not
think
believe-
they're gonna fucking take that from me?
You think
Yeah.
the dentist stuff was the end? That's just getting started.
Dude, the dentist.
You can't even imagine
It's
how
not the
There's
end.
so many more ancillary doctor
Yeah.
professions we can make jokes about.
I'm gonna
doctors'
bomb so
offices,
hard.
podiatrists, chiropractors.
Well, okay, so you mentioned bombing hard, and that's the question Michael usually loves to ask. And
Hmm.
since he's in recovery, I'll ask it. Would you say the hardest bomb you've had? And I mean, sometimes, a lot of times on the show, it's not even that you had a bad set. It's just what a ridiculous show you were a part of. Or like a fight pops up. We get that one a lot. What's a ridiculous moment from your long career in
Probably,
comedy?
my grandma's funeral. That crowd
Hold on.
sucked, dude. They were tight.
Yeah. Nobody wants to laugh at a funeral. That's true.
Oh, man, I was like, get over yourselves. It's my grandma.
She would want me to use her as a puppet.
Come
I'm
on.
going through my Jeff
I
Dunn
need
phase.
this. I'm 6 months into doing comedy. My grandma just died. This is gold.
Hold on.
You guys know. You guys have your own people.
I'm beginning to question the validity of this story. So you did a eulogy at your grandma's?
I did talk a little bit, and it didn't go well. But like as far as comedy
How do you
bombing,
bomb at your own grandma's funeral? That's your audience, dude. They're there for you.
I was,
Just so we're clear, because I'm sure someone listening is curious about this same question. My first
They're
question
wondering.
is, was this requested by her prior to the where she was like, I
I
want you to
think-
go up and do some of your jokes?
no, she didn't know about comedy. I'm not like close. I'm not super close to my family. I'm not just going around telling my family I'm a fucking comedian.
Wait, so nobody knows that you're aspiring to do jokes, and then you go up and you go, hey, I thought of a couple things.
I was like, boy, this party died.
It's like, what else? What else? You guys didn't like that one? What else?
Well, what do you guys want to talk about?
He's like, my grandma's dead, but boy, could she do good
let
at
me
a
think.
dentist's office.
All right, let's give it up for your bartender.
I've got kind of a short Jesus vibe. Wouldn't you guys? I'm like the king of short kings.
Would the dentist office riff crush at a funeral, do you think? Would that work?
Man,
Feel
they
like-
weren't having anything. If that didn't work, nothing's gonna work on those people. you
That's
know?
true. It sounds like a real bitch audience, if you ask me. Why would they not want to
I'm
laugh?
trying to remember real life bombs. Like my first set obviously wasn't that great, but it wasn't. I wouldn't say it was the worst set of that open mic. And I just be honest.
That's fair. I've been to that open mic. I'm sure that's fair.
I
Yeah.
watched one open mic before I went up, and I was like, oh, I got it.
Yeah.
This is not going to be that bad.
A lot of people do that. A lot of people. I
I
went
never
to.
saw shit.
Really? You just
No.
went up blind.
Yeah, I was fucking nervous too. And
That's
I was like,
terrifying.
and the guy before me crushed. I'm like, I've got to do this.
Do you remember who it was? Was it like somebody who's still around? That
No,
went
it's,
before you?
he might be coming back. Ryan Holton.
Oh, okay. Right.
He was actually really funny.
Yeah, he
had
quit
some
right when I
demons.
started.
Never heard of him.
We never crossed paths
met
somehow.
him.
He's like an OG Blue Ridge guy that
He's
quit
like our
right when I
version
started.
of who's his? Yeah.
Who's-
God damn it! Never mind.
What?
Gibson Cardi. It's our version of Gibson Cardi because he's 7 feet tall.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Oh, because he's tall.
Jesus
Right.
Christ!
Did you almost name drop somebody and get in trouble? Is that what happened?
No, I forgot Gibson's name for all of 5
Oh.
seconds. I'm retarded right now. I'm doing so bad.
Gibson listens to this too. He's gonna.
I
be
know,
pissed.
and I love Gibson. He's,
He's
one of my
gonna be
favorite
pissed.
people.
Word up, Gibson.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Has he been on?
I honestly, here's what impressed me about the thought of Gibson listening to this show. I didn't think that AirPods have that wide of a range where they would still connect your phone,
That
because
far
his
apart.
head is 12 feet above his pocket, where I'm assuming his phone is.
That's a good point.
I just didn't know that it would connect. No, we love him. I do love Gibson. Okay, all right. So there's no bomb in particular that you never had somebody threaten your life on stage.
Like I don't think one stands out.
Yeah.
This guy was trying to heckle me the other night, but I was moving too quick because I go pretty fast. So
Yeah, you're
if
just
you're
like
gonna
a
heckle me, you
salmon.
gotta ante up and really get in there.
You're a salmon going up straight.
I was like, you guys ever heard of Teleco Planes? And he was like, yeah, it sucks. And I didn't realize he was talking to me until I was done. Because I mean, I'm not.
you didn't realize that the man shouting out while you were on stage only
Listen.
was speaking directly
You
to
asked
you.
the question.
The guy who referenced your question.
He's also there. It's I don't think he's like an active comic, but he's at that open mic all the time,
Oh,
and he's
yeah.
gone up once and bombed. And like,
so you felt comfortable ignoring it.
I have
is
no
what you're saying.
respect.
But also, you invited him to talk.
I know.
Have you guys heard of Teleco planes? Got to be fast. You got to be fast.
Yeah, you guys got to be quicker than that. I'm not here to do crowd work.
It's rhetorical. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm doing something up here.
You guys doing all right tonight? Never mind. Moving on. You got to be fast if you want to catch Casey.
I'm not listening. I'm just talking.
You are in a hurry.
I do. I need to slow down a little bit.
You get in a hurry.
I'm working on just standing in one spot. I had to the other day, and I wound up just rotating like an animatronic so often.
Sometimes you got to rotate, though.
That was a big struggle for me for like the first
moving.
6 months.
How to stay in?
Yeah, I was just running around the stage like a fucking chicken with its head cut off.
I keep getting compared to Casey Rocket, and it slowed down, but then somebody from Austin, I can't remember her name. She's funny. She was a feature at JJ's, and she said, "You ever heard of Casey Rocket?" And I pulled a gun out, shot her in the stomach. I was like, "Yes!" I heard it was the only set I've ever done in a hat, and so just everything.
Oh, okay.
So
were you adjusting it in the same fashion from the bill?
I did. I wasn't flicking it, but I did adjust it a couple times.
That'll do it.
I hope it happens to everybody. Yeah. Somebody with the same first name and similar imagery becomes famous for something that you're trying to do. I hope it happens to every one of you.
Right.
And they're getting paid a lot for it, and they're like known in the public view.
Well, the interesting thing about him is it's largely riff based, and so what I'm curious is, has he ever made a dentist office based riff?
I bet it crushed.
That I'm not aware of.
He's one of the last Casey Rocket jokes I heard. He was like, "Let's talk about Stuart Little and 9/11.
Yeah.
We know he had a plane." We know he had motive. And I was like, God, he's a genius. He's so smart.
It is good. He's a maniac. He's a maniac.
Good.
But so on that topic of people comparing your style to him, I think Travis will probably speak more to this than I can, but especially when you're starting out. I see it all the time in myself as well as in other comics who are a little behind me on just starting out. I think you just emulate what you love. Like, people get on Justin Mays all the time for being too close to Shane Gillis. It's because that makes him laugh. And so I think almost naturally, in a human way, you're going to try to replicate that. Like, I've had a few throwaways that are very, that not word for word, but damn near just a Don Rickles line that I remember, And so, like, with Johnny and stuff, when I used to mess with him, I would go after him in that way. And it's tough because obviously I shouldn't do that. I should just be myself on stage. But there's some amount of that is myself also. Like that influence is a part of why I'm doing
100%,
comedy.
yeah.
So it's just how do you represent the comics you love and make that into your style without stealing their shit?
Well, the thing, and I do agree with what you're saying, but when I was getting compared to Casey Rocket at first, I had never seen him.
Oh,
so
right.
I would come out singing Nickelback songs.
Yeah.
And then I watched Kill Tony, and I was like, fuck! I was doing the same exact thing.
I think it's not even like, with Justin, like in Shane and all that stuff. A lot of it too is just like we're all similar ages, similar upbringings. So we were watching the same shit as kids. So like the same content they were taking in that formulated them is the same shit we watched.
Right.
That's a smart answer.
We're going to have a lot of the same.
He's a smart fella.
Yeah, I kind of hate how good of an answer that was.
He's a fart smeller, that Travis.
Yeah. No, it's all hack. I'm just I'm trying to be Casey Rocket. I'm hoping nobody's ever heard of him.
Well, we actually brought you here just to call you out on it.
Yeah, it's getting out of hand.
This is an intervention. Okay, so that, I really was hoping that you had been,
I avoid watching
him
now just so I don't take anything accidentally, honestly.
Well, Justin said, I think on the show before, and I don't want to say exactly which comic this was because I think I know, but I can't remember. Justin has a comic that he kind of turns to as sort of a mentor or, guidance at times. And that comic said to him, you got to stop watching Shane so much.
Yeah.
Because literally you're starting to take it in a little bit. And like we're just,
take it in too
as
much.
Comics, I think we're sponges anyways. That's our brains are meant to take in the world and make sense of it. So, I mean, I've even caught myself, I think we've said this before, where I've caught myself doing like the Dave Chappelle leg tap with the microphone when I laugh or something. And then it's totally unnatural. And as soon as I do it, I go, that's not me. I've just seen him do that and it fit there for whatever reason. So I think it's only natural. And especially when you're first starting out. But as you're a year and a half in now, I think I've seen you.
I'm getting better.
Drift far away. Yeah, I've seen you drift more from, because definitely the first time I saw you, I knew that was the comparison you get.
Yeah, for sure.
And I feel like over time I've seen it completely depart. From
Dissipate.
That. Yeah.
Good.
Right.
Good.
Which is natural.
Well,
I think.
Yeah.
I've heard a lot of people, and I've done it too, say we're having a good time, like Dusty Slade.
Yeah.
Because it works, you know? Like, it's the perfect thing to say
It works.
when you're in a lull and you're trying to get to the next thing, but you're not there yet.
That's what's crazy, too, because it's not like you're stealing a joke, but you are taking, like, somebody's thing.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And, like, it's so easy, like, when you're saying a joke and it doesn't land and you're trying to explain it to the audience, like, you go,
Like,
you know what I mean?
Like, we are having a good time.
No,
but you can't say it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or like even
Trademarked it.
Theo Vaughn, like the way he says, he'll be like, you know.
Right.
So like if you say too much, which is just normal
Yeah.
speech, like it's almost like he's patented that just because he does it so much.
Posturing too, like the two-handed mic thing. Everybody's like Shane Gillis, and you're like, I'm just holding a microphone.
I'm just trying not to put my hand in my pocket.
Right.
I've started doing that. When I'm not holding my notes, I kind of go for a two-handed.
I do that. I do the hand behind the back thing, which is kind of a Bargatze thing. I do that a little bit, kind of like the general. But I don't. It just nervousness, and again, I've just seen it. And it resonated with me, I guess.
Yeah.
So
And as soon as I notice I've put my hand in my pocket, I'm like, God damn it, I don't know what to do with my hand. And I take it out, and now all I can think about is I've just got this stupid hand
What's my
flopping
hand
around.
doing?
Everybody's looking at this dumbass hand that's just sitting here.
Oh, you quit looking at my hand.
Meanwhile, nobody cares.
Nobody
really.
cares.
But
No, nobody's
we
paying
do.
attention.
But then if I start talking with it too much, then I feel like I'm
A New York
like,
comic.
What is it doing up there? 'Cause they-
So, like now I think pretty much because of the internet, everybody kind of talks with their hands. But for the longest time, using your spare hand was kind of a New York comic thing. They would say
It's
that,
aggressive, yeah.
Must be a New York comic because you're talking with your hands. Isn't that weird to Because I feel like
is strange.
pretty universally now,
it
everybody.
feels pretty problematic, if you ask me. It's like,
Oh, yeah?
I mean, like what led New Yorkers to talk with their hands was purely socially economic things that.
I don't know what this direction is that you're trying to pull this right now.
I mean, just to say,
It is interesting to watch you grab a hold of the wheel
so
and
glad he
jerk
started
it.
talking right then because I was out of stuff.
Nope, I heard you say a 3-syllable word that didn't exactly fit, and I'm like, come on, he's got it. Get there.
My favorite part about Casey is he will take the wheel when he has no idea where we're going. That's what I love about it.
I love that it's not my podcast. It's like driving my aunt's Corvette. And I'm like,
if you
Not my
crash
insurance,
it,
dude.
yeah, because
That's true.
yeah,
Your aunt has a Corvette.
it's a 2008 or 6 or something.
Oh, it doesn't count.
way
I
less
drove
cool.
it to prom.
Doesn't count. Yeah.
It's a cool car.
That
Yeah, it was
sucks when you
whenever I
have
was in
that
high
age
school.
range. My grandpa used to always brag about this 69 Camaro he had, and then I found out he had it in 1989. And I was like, less cool. Less cool, actually, when you saved up 40 years
the
later.
same way, yeah. He had a 69 Camaro.
Yeah.
He graduated in 81 or
In
something.
the 90s, it's not as cool. It's a little, it's still cool. It's less cool. Yeah.
cool.
Here's a question I want to ask everybody. We'll go in order. I want to do a Thanksgiving food draft because this is our Thanksgiving episode. So we'll do a draft. Casey, you can start us off and we'll go around. We'll do 3 picks a person, and then at the end we'll decide who has the best plate. You get 3 items on each one, and no repeating. Okay. So Casey, you go first. What if we're doing a Thanksgiving draft here? What's your top pick?
Dude, this is tough. We should have went in the reverse.
Should we go in the
order.
other order?
No, because I gotta have
I
the
can
best
start this
stuff.
bitch.
She's gonna say turkey.
She's gonna go.
That bitch.
I can see it in her eyes.
Okay,
She wants
so I'm
turkey.
gonna go on a specific smoked turkey.
You're doing that shit. All right. That's
All right,
fine.
that's ethical.
If you're gonna be that guy,
I'm
I guess,
opening
fine.
it up to the crowd.
I'm saying baked mac and cheese. Fuck off, dude.
I'm
Smoked
saying, I like
turkey.
a plate of cocaine.
Just
Sweet potato casserole.
hold it. Whoa.
just
One
get
at
to
a
do
time, dude.
Oh,
One at
you
a
said
time.
three
Draft
stuff.
works?
I thought you said 3.
We're doing 3,
yeah.
but we got to go around. That's
a draft.
It's a draft,
What
dude.
the-
It's a draft.
okay.
If you
And
say sweet potato casserole, I swear to God.
That was actually going to be my first pick. Dude.
Okay.
That shit goes hard as a motherfucker.
So Casey's got turkey,
All right.
and I'm putting turkey. Casey's got turkey. Trav, you going?
I don't
I'm going
wanna-
to go with the ham, which is the superior
Thank you.
No,
got
like
2
no.
proteins
Listen.
in a row.
holiday meat.
I'll back him up on that.
He's correct.
I'll back
But
him
I'm
up on
talking about smoked turkey, not dry ass
Okay.
baked broiled.
I don't give a shit. You're never going to be able to get as much flavor into a bird as you get out of just a succulent ham.
I'm with him.
Suck his hands.
I am with him.
Dude, you can give me that weird ass ham that comes in the can. If I can just
A
bologna in the-
spiral ham,
Yes.
dude. Oh,
I'll fucking take one of those.
Absolutely. Kayla, are you going SPC on this one? Is
Well,
that
do
where
I
you're
need a
going?
protein?
It's your plate.
I'm going to go chicken casserole.
Oh,
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Now, let me ask you this, and this is off the record, but hypothetically, on top of that chicken casserole, we talking like a stovetop stuffing? Or are you going like a fancy homemade?
Probably not, yeah. Just
Fancy.
stovetop.
Oh,
No,
stovetop.
no, no,
Okay,
stovetop.
good. Then I'm in. Then
Yeah,
all
yeah,
right.
yeah.
I love a
Little
stove.
brown gravy
Yeah.
on top.
Yeah, sure. From a jar. I like a jar, brown gravy, and a stovetop stuffing.
Okay,
I like it. I like it cheap. While setting this up in my mind, I didn't actually consider what my answer to the question would be.
Yeah.
And I'm realizing right now
now
that
it's your turn.
my top three are gone immediately. So, now this is for my personal plate also, because I would assume a lot of people are going to go deviled eggs here on the first round. I'm not a fan.
I didn't even think about
I'm not a deviled eggs kind of guy.
It couldn't cross my mind either.
I'm not
They're
a deviled
always
eggs
there,
kind of
and
guy.
I always
It's
eat them,
a
but I never
staple.
want them.
I'm avoiding deviled eggs
I
right
don't
now
know why I
because it's
didn't
such a
think of this.
meme. You know what I mean?
I don't know why I didn't think of this. I have the number one. It's mashed potatoes all the way.
Oh, well.
Mashed potatoes.
Fuck, he's got
It's got
taters.
mashed potatoes.
I got the taters. Now it's back to
Damn it.
Casey.
What's a better food than fucking potatoes? They
Oh,
could
I
be
got one.
anything.
It
I
could
don't
be
know how we
anything.
didn't get there before.
Potato bread, potato chips.
Sweet potato casserole is still on the
Still on the table.
I'm
You want to
taking
go
it.
for
Yeah, I'm
all right,
taking
all
it.
right, go for it. Yeah.
SPC. Is that what
SPC,
you
dude.
called that? You just shouted that out a minute ago.
SPC, yeah.
I'm so
100%.
impressed when somebody can just come up with an initialism because
Well,
I can't think.
It
that
took me about 4 minutes in my head to do it while we were
He's
going
like,
around.
what is the first letters of those words?
I'm a little bit dyslexic, and I almost said STC. So I in the last minute I got it.
STP.
But I appreciate you. Yeah. STOP. All right. So, anyways, we're back to Travis.
Well,
You got ham in the first round.
I got
which is a
ham,
solid
Ham.
pick.
in the spirit of initialism, I was gonna go with GBC,
Whoa.
but I might just go with GB, dude.
Okay, GB's fair. GBC's
You
out.
get some good Southern Kentucky Wonder green beans.
Getting some GBs.
Now, what style of green beans are happening in your
I like
house?
the
We got the
Kentucky
French
Wonder.
cut. You got the big, thick, wide ones.
Yeah,
you
the
know?
Italian cut.
Kentucky Wonder.
Italian
Kentucky
cut.
Wonder is the brand, Allen's, and you put that on your stovetop and you let that shit sit for a year and a half.
Wow. Year and a half. Year and a half old green beans for Travis.
Like some green beans.
Moving on to Kayla. You hatched one up that you were excited about. So I want to know what do you
Well,
have
I was
over
going to
there?
take GBC
Oh.
because I'm sticking with the casserole theme.
Right.
So I got chicken casserole, but
Yeah.
I might do cornbread casserole. So I think
That's a thing.
Let's do
Cornbread
that.
casserole.
I'll do that.
Okay. All right. All right.
This
That's
just sounds like a very
got a
single
plate of
mom
casseroles.
Thanksgiving. It's just Thanksgiving.
who's going to win this?
She's like, and a bottle of Merlot is my third pick. Yeah, and a nice book. For the third one or the second one for me, what did I? Oh, mashed potatoes all the way. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna kind of spin off of Kayla's initial. I'm just gonna take stuffing. Just stuffing on its own.
Okay.
I don't care if it's stovetop. I don't like all the cornbread fancy shit. You know, your mom tries to put raisins in it one year. I don't need all that. Just a stovetop stuffing. Just a box.
Good
Casey.
Golden raisins or are they like
Just,
regular?
Honestly, we've taken some real risks as a family, and it always seems to be on Thanksgiving. And I go, this is not the time to take risks. Okay, we do family dinner at other times.
you gotta
That's when you try
practice
shit
that.
out.
Yeah.
Stick with the hits. On
Yeah,
this.
go to the
One
open
time when my
mics,
great grandma
come on.
got a little senile, she put some nutmeg in the stuffing. She thought that would really throw us for a loop, and boy, did it. It was not good, and we knew right then she could not be in charge of the stuffing from there on out. And she died shortly after, and God love her. Whatever you say there, rest her soul.
All right.
Rest in power.
God rest in power. Yeah, and she's crushing at that dentist office in the sky. Anyways, moving on to Casey. This is the third pick, so this is pretty
It's
important.
got three.
It's pretty important for
There's
you.
two choices. And
Okay.
It's tough, man. It's tough.
Well, you have smoked turkey, and you got SPC, which is a
SPC.
hard one to
It's a
beat.
good lineup.
You got a good play.
I know. So the thing is that I want another vegetable, but I
Sure.
also want a bread.
As one does. Right. You only got room for one
Yeah.
on the plate.
I know what I should do.
This is just so we're clear. We're all picturing a Zoo Pals plate in our head, right? Is
Yeah.
that what we're familiar with? Zoo
Yes.
Pals,
Yeah, yeah.
wolf,
Zoo-
ribbit,
Zoo-
Zoo Pals.
yeah.
Okay, Zoo Pals make eating fun, and so as long as we have the two sections, what's well, I guess turkey be your big section
Turkey's the big section.
It's the mouth
Yeah.
on the
So
Zoo Pal.
in the, I'm gonna go against my judgment, but I'm going creamed corn.
Creamed
Creamed
corn.
corn.
I'm a creamed corn guy.
I just
That's
had creamed
disgusting.
peas this weekend for my birthday. My grandma made a country breakfast or a country dinner rather, and I went creamed
Creamed
peas.
pea- how-
Sure wasn't pea salad.
Nope, creamed peas, big fan.
How
Big
was
fan.
it? It was good.
Oh, it's number one. Yeah.
Never heard.
In Kayla's family, if it's not salad or casserole, it doesn't exist.
It's like, are you meaning pea casserole?
you idiot.
Yeah. Let me just take a sip of my tea casserole in this cup here. Yeah.
Oh man.
Okay. So Creamed corn.
Creamed corn.
Wow.
God, I feel like you blew it. Dude.
I know.
A kicker in the third round,
I should have done
You
a
really
yeast
did
roll.
choke. You had a strong
You had a
plate.
strong plate, and then you
Look,
just
hey,
fucked it up.
I said I was going against my judgment.
Now you got a wet mess, and
Man.
that cream corn is invading
This is
your turkey.
a labor of love out here. This is
Yeah.
passion play. This is
Nothing I
not
like washing down the nice smoky flavor
Well-
of turkey than creamy corn.
creamed corn.
Trav, I gotta say, ham and green beans, you got a solid plate.
Got
I
a
think,
keto-ass plate,
It's a
too.
safe plate.
Low carb.
I think it's a safe plate. You're
throw
not
a
taking
carb
any
on it.
risks.
We don't get anywhere being safe.
Right.
It's Thanksgiving. We splurge
That's
a
true.
little bit.
Kayla's swinging for the fences.
Nobody's taking bread yet. I kind of want to take those fucking little Hawaiian rolls that people just butter the shit out of.
just
and
a
bake.
King's Hawaiian roll.
I kind of want to do that, but I also kind of want to take pecan pie, which I know is a dessert, separate plate.
Nobody's done any. Oh,
He's reading my mind over here.
I kind of think I want pecan pie.
Pecan
All right,
pie.
he's doing a pecan
All right.
pie.
That was so sticky it accidentally
He's
picked
doing
up a Hawaiian roll.
a main course pecan pie.
I'm for it.
I don't
honestly.
say pecan. I'm just saying it because he did. I said
It's
pecan.
too late, dude.
Pecan
I don't
pie.
ever
It's locked in.
say pecan.
I don't ever pay attention to it. If somebody else
Pecan
says
pie.
pecan, so do I, dude. I'm
That's
very
what we're going
agreeable.
on.
He's
Yeah.
a pecan chameleon. He just matches how
Whatever
other
you
people
want me to say, I will
Yeah.
say.
We are
That's-
spineless men. We're just going with the flow.
That's
No, I
us.
grew up in a town where we had a vocabulary of like 100. That's all the words we knew. I saw a kid who had an alligator on his shirt, and I read it. I was like, "Oh, Lacoste, that's very cool." And he goes, "It's Lacoste, you dumbass." And as soon as he said that, dude, I've been terrified to speak.
It's
my
like,
whole life.
okay, I'm just gonna not.
I've
talk
only
ever
ever
again.
read it.
All right. Kayla, back to you. Back to you. What are we
All right,
thinking?
nobody's done any drinks yet. So what about
plate.
Jesus.
It's on a plate.
Oh,
All right.
What about
You just pour punch on your fucking plate.
How poor is this
what
family?
about
So on Kayla's plate, there are 2 casseroles and
and
a
a-
puddle of some
Well, you're gonna
drink.
need
Okay,
some
to be
liquid for all
fair-
that fucking casserole.
I'm always last, okay?
It's the
They have
wine-
to
it's
pick
the wine
all
casserole.
The veggies and the protein.
The only thing left on Kayla's family table is a 2-liter of Dr. Wow, and she's pouring it into
Hold
a
up.
section of her foam plate.
Wait, I was gonna say a pumpkin spice latte.
Oh my god!
Okay.
Your
Yeah, but it
plate
still has
is
to
a
go on your
divorced
plate.
mom. Your plate
Your
is
plate
just
is
a
divorced
divorced mom.
Okay,
This
no
is
drinks.
crazy.
You get a side of Xanax in here.
Never let him take
No
your joy.
drinks. Let's give her another shot on that one.
What's another casserole we could put in there?
Just think of any food. Something to use a fork for. I don't think.
What about like broccoli salad?
Gross.
Yeah, if you want.
Salads and
The
casserole.
Jacksonville Jaguars are fucking.
I had to go
Salads.
last. Everything was taken.
Salad. That's
Hey,
true. It is a
Could have
tough
got King's
spot.
Hawaiian roll. You could have had carrots.
We'll flip the order on the next one. Okay. All right. So that wraps up Kayla's plate. Okay. All right.
collard greens.
Broccoli salad. Jesus. Okay. And for mine, I'm gonna
Just
go in the
any
Trav
beans.
direction because Trav reminded me. I'm just gonna go the all time class. I'm going pumpkin pie to wrap
Pumpkin
up mine.
pie.
My thing. Yeah.
It's
So
It's an aphrodisiac.
it's somewhere between Trav's answer and Kayla's pumpkin spice latte.
I just
is
thought
where I'm
pumpkins
at.
were sexy.
So you get all the good stuff
No, that
because
was the thing
everybody
that came out
reminds
on-
you of what you could have picked.
Technically, I went last, and so I got.
You did, and somehow with the best plates. I don't
Okay.
understand.
Well, let's read them all. So for Casey, he's got smoked turkey,
Solid.
sweet potato casserole,
Nice.
or as it's locally known, SPC, and cream corn.
Cream corn.
Oh God, you got it on the 1 yard line and couldn't
It's
punch
so
it in.
it's runny.
I think
too.
you blew it.
It's runny.
Runny
corn.
cream corn.
Dude,
I think
it's
you
like,
blew it.
You're like, how the fuck am I even gonna get this into my mouth?
A spoon. You got to eat it with a spoon. Okay. And then
just tastes
Travis's
poor.
plate. You got ham, green beans, and pecan pie. Pretty good.
It's a good plate.
It's a pretty good plate.
It's a solid plate.
I think the shape of the green beans is what it's going to come down to for me. There's a lot riding on it.
Oh yeah, it's those Kentucky Wonder big fat square suckers.
Yeah. Okay. Solid. That's solid. If you would have said the French cut, like the stringy
Oh
ones,
no, that's disgusting.
you can kiss my
Half
ass.
runners, get out of here.
Yeah. My grandma used to do them, and she would put the little balled potatoes in there too. You know what I'm talking about? In the
Little
green
new
beans.
potatoes?
Bald potatoes
the
or
little-
Baked
boiled?
potatoes.
Bald is what I said. The
can.
little.
I know you
That's
don't
what
really
I
have
meant.
much. That's what I said. It's
That's
like
what
you don't have much of an accent. I was like, did it just come
No,
out?
no, no. Little bald
Yeah, you know, bald
potatoes.
potatoes.
bald potatoes.
Bald.
Bald, as in no, just white.
Peeled.
Yeah, that bald.
I gotcha. I'm
It's
with you.
skull-like, so that they're in there, and I'm not a fan of that.
I don't either.
I don't like
I
that.
love them.
And
No,
sometimes
that
it has
tastes like a
little red
retirement home.
beans in
That
it
is
too.
just a very specific old person thing to do.
Exactly. That's what they serve you when you can't feed yourself anymore.
Yes, you
They
just
give
need
you green
soft-
beans and potatoes.
You just need soft, squishy textures.
Yep, that's it. Okay. Kayla's plate has a puddle of liquid that we dumped off.
Mush.
There's chicken casserole, which I think is a great.
It's a good.
You were strong in the first.
Protein,
Yeah.
bread.
in there.
Strong in the first. And the stovetop
Full
really
meal.
had me sold.
Crispy top layer.
Cornbread casserole, you're losing me a little. I'm going to be honest. because, and I'll tell you exactly why. This is very niche and you may relate to this. My grandfather, who I was around every day as a kid, used to take cornbread and he would crumble it into a glass of milk.
Oh my
and
God!
Eat it with
Why did
a
old
fork.
people do that?
And that makes me want to die when I think about it.
Did you ever eat it?
I refuse. One time he ran. I swear to God, when he would run out of cornbread, he would use Fritos, and that's even worse. And one time I caught him using barbecue twisted Fritos because he didn't have regular Fritos. A sick man. He also put a slice of cheese on an oatmeal cream pie. He did peanut butter and pickle sandwiches.
Why didn't he
He's
just
a
drink the damn milk? He's like, I got to sop it up with a starch.
Exactly. It's gross. Cornbread salad makes me
gotta give this milk a job, you know what I mean? Can't just drink milk. What am I, the Pope?
Cornbread casserole, I should say. Makes me think of
casserole.
And then broccoli casserole at the end, which I'm
broccoli
not
salad.
Oh, sorry.
How can we make salad worse? I don't know. Pick the vegetable that nobody wants to eat.
Wait, now broccoli salad, that's with the white sauce
cold broccoli.
it's cold
raisins and
kind of like a coleslaw, but with broccoli.
I think the only time I've had that in my life would be at a chicken salad place.
A chicken salad chick?
Yeah, I think I've had it there.
Oh yeah.
I don't think of that as a Thanksgiving.
I live far away from a chicken salad.
I think we all have to go to Kayla's house for Thanksgiving.
Pumpkin spice latte, we wouldn't be talking about it.
Yeah, well, you were going to eat it off of a plate.
Yeah.
It's going to sit in one of those corners, and then I'll just drink it.
I think the most epic infighting of the family is happening at Kayla's plate. Wherever that's being served.
Yeah.
That's where the uncle's getting drunk and storming in
I
and
agree.
saying some shit.
If you slide me a plate, if I show up late, even if I'm an hour late and they're like, all that's left is chicken casserole, cornbread casserole, and broccoli salad, I'll just leave, I think. I'll go to Popeyes. They have a smoked turkey there. I'll go get smoked turkey there.
Smoked turkey.
I'll do a fast food turkey.
At Popeyes?
Yeah.
I live far away from a Popeyes.
I appreciate you sharing that with
I'm
us.
just, you guys are naming stuff like it's normal, and I'm like, that's like an hour and a half drive.
Keep in mind, you also talk shit about Johnson's.
Yeah. He started the episode by calling us toothless.
You guys got to stop talking about Popeyes like it's normal.
Yeah, it's a luxury item, dude. I go to the KFC and get chicken livers.
Of course you do.
I do love chicken livers.
Of course you
So
do.
good. And they're not on the menu. You just got to know.
That's disgusting.
Seriously?
You're kidding when they take them
At
off the
KFC?
menu.
I've not, well, I
You may
say
be the
that.
only,
I've not
if
read
you
the
know,
menu.
you know, orderer at the KFC. I'm not even convinced they're chicken livers.
They're
I
like, we
think
don't
they're
even
just-
have chicken livers. I'm like, you got chicken livers. I know you do.
They're just frying little pieces of glove and giving it to you, and you're like, these are delicious.
Whatever, dude. It's
Taste
cheap
all
as
that
hell.
iron, dude.
Okay, and then my plate, wrapping it up, mashed potatoes, solid, stovetop stuffing, and a slice of pumpkin pie. I mean, come on. What are we doing here?
You have no main hitters.
I don't go to Thanksgiving for the protein. I'll
That's a
say
good
that.
point.
It is all about the sides.
It's all about the sides.
Because it is the two worst proteins in.
Don't you love when
protein
people
history.
are, oh yeah, and then people are like, the turkey makes me sleepy. And I'm like, it's probably the mashed potatoes, mac and cheese, fucking carbs that you just ate.
Yeah, does it also make your foot hurt because you're a diabetic, dumbass?
The turkey made me lose my foot. Yeah, I don't think so.
Shout out to you, Aunt Missy.
think so.
Rip.
I do. I think as far as holidays go,
Rest
though,
in protein.
it's poor Aunt Becky.
Worst part is I don't get to see my Uncle Tim anymore, and that dude was like, he was all-star drunk, dude, and he looked like, you think you look cool with a mustache? This
he's got
motherfucker
it.
thought he was the Marlboro Man, dude. And
Cool.
the last time I saw him, I was probably 25 years old, so my little brother was 20. And he walks up to him. He's known this kid for 20 fucking years. He looks at him and goes, "Hi, nice to meet you. Who are you?"
Pretty cool.
Yeah,
Pretty
drunk
cool.
as shit.
Yeah, I have family
awesome.
members that I've been introduced to pretty regularly throughout my life. I think that's part of having a very white trash family. A lot of times they're on drugs and they don't remember meeting you.
I'm that uncle, but I'm sober. I'm sober as hell, but I can't remember anybody that's more than 5 years younger than me. I have no idea who they are or who they belong to.
Right.
You're sober with that 70s like porn look.
For the
going
most
on.
part, yeah.
You don't drink at all?
No, I mean I will every now and then.
You
but
even got a pocket in your shirt for the cigarettes. You don't even have to roll them
you could
off.
just
dude.
put them in there. I used to.
You may be the only person who wakes up in their bed in a barn and didn't drink the night before.
Didn't drink the
That
night
might be-
before. Yeah,
You might be the first.
that's just how I roll.
The roast joke I wrote that time where I was like, Casey lives in a bar, but he's saving up to move into a car.
I've opened many
Funny.
sets with that joke.
Funny.
And it still does pretty good.
You're welcome.
yeah.
Yeah,
It's pretty
thanks.
good stuff.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's our Thanksgiving draft. That's our Thanksgiving episode. Actually, there's proof.
Scared me.
Scared me.
Intruder
to
alert.
death.
Yeah.
We have a surprise guest in the studio who's going to be on next week. So if you want to hear that, if If you want to hear that,
see how the sausage is made over
in
here.
a week. Yeah, in a week. Thank you guys so much for coming. Travis, is there anything you want to plug before you get out of here?
No, I've just gotta check the Instagram, Trav_Stevenson.
Trav_Stevenson. And the thing we talked about before we click record, is there any announcement on that yet, or are we holding off on the venture?
What are we talking about?
Okay. All right. Little venture, the little you pour stuff, you make stuff,
coffee truck?
stuff. Yeah. Are we?
Oh yeah,
we talking about
it's not comedy related. So
I know. I didn't know if it's official yet or.
Yeah, it's official. We bought the coffee truck, and our first, it's Howdy.
Our first event's December the 7th.
December the 7th, dude. Yeah, we'll be at the Johnson City Makers Market.
Wow. Is it during the daytime?
Dude, I'm so fucking bad. I have no idea where we're gonna be.
Is that during the daytime? Is that a nighttime activity?
I'm not really sure.
Well, I'm hoping it's during the day because I've got.
I love
Nick
how I
Murphy
agreed to be on a podcast where he's asking me questions.
He's like,
I don't know my life. All right, Kayla, anything you want to plug while you're here? I know all our listeners are eager to follow you. So, anything you want to plug?
He just wants to get plugged by Michael, apparently.
This would be a great time for you to shout another casserole as well. If this is anything in mind.
I really like sweet potato casserole.
That was
and
a
I
good pick.
would have said that
It's tough.
if it came around.
Yeah. SPC was a good pick. That was solid. Casey, what do you want to plug before we get you out of here?
I don't know if I have anything to plug, to be honest. I've got stuff. I can't remember anything at all, though.
That's it. I do. I appreciate the lack of preparedness that you brought to this
There's
gig.
so little preparedness going on. We're free balling.
I enjoy it because that's what I bring every week.
Yeah.
And
I'm
admire
doing
it.
things,
Yeah.
We're just out here.
He's
So
doing
busy.
stuff. If you want to catch Casey Shearer doing stuff, then find him.
All of my
and he'll probably be doing stuff.
I hate posting dates on my social media because it's everybody I went to high school with, and I'm like, hey guys, if you want to drive 3 hours away to watch me bomb a host set at some obscure tavern, then you're more than welcome to. But for the most part, I'm just bragging.
Put that out there.
Yeah.
And some of our listeners are going to come. They're going to go, I want to hear the dentist office guy for myself.
They're going to be like, I remember the dentist office guy.
There's a few people who do listen and come to, and they're going to,
Well, they're going to, hey, catch me at the next.
There's me because I'm always there.
Don't tell.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, you're not on the next one. Anyways, plug.
Just put this one before
right
one that I am on.
I'll save this episode until Casey's about to be on Don't Tell Again.
It'll be like 2 years away, and they'll be like, why is it a Thanksgiving
Oh, no,
episode?
after your host set, you're never working with me again. But I'm kidding.
You love this guy? He even crushes at the optometrist.
He just switches it. He's going to be back. Casey's going to be back. Trav's going to be there. Kayla's going to do time on the show. The next one's going to be great. It's going to be funny. No, so we're wrapping up. I'm going to plug the show. Follow us on Instagram, Talkin Bits Pod on Instagram. Michael Rose Comedy, because he's not here. We do want to wish him well. I hope his recovery's coming along. So wish him well in the comments. My Instagram is @inboer comedy. So follow me there, and you can check out Don't Tell Tri-Cities as well. We post all the same shit between all 4 accounts. So you can find us. Casey, what's your Instagram?
Casey_Bean.
Jesus Christ.
Casey spelled CASEY.
I don't think that's the part of the handle they're struggling to find. I'll be honest.
_Bean.
A master marketer, Casey Shearer.
It's not.
Do you just want people to struggle to find you two? You guys
nobody said it was good.
We're talking about esoteric. Y'all's handles are so.
I'm gonna earn my audience. They're gonna, they're earning their own. Spot.
You want these high quality dentist office jokes, motherfuckers? You better learn.
If you're not smart enough,
if
you're not smart enough to find that on Instagram, you're not smart enough to be my fan. So.
Well, hey, you heard it here first, folks.
You heard it here first.
Casey hates unintelligent people.
Enthusiastically and with respect, yes.
I don't like that. All right, that's our show. Trav, thanks for coming. Thank you guys so much.
Yeah,
bye.